Good afternoon. The Legislative Affairs Subcommittee has come to order. Please join me in a salute to the flag.
Roll call of the members. Councilor Guarino Sawaya. Here. Councilor Jaramillo is absent. Councilor Kelly.
Here.
Here. Councilor Silvestri.
Here.
Here. And Chairman Argenzio.
Here.
Here. Quorum is present. First item on tonight's agenda is Council Order 24-086, an ordinance further amending the revised ordinances of the City of Revere relative to the term of the Superintendent of Public Works.
Name and address for the record, please.
Clarence Zarillo, 281, I almost said Revere Street, Broadway. As you can see from the cover letter we submitted to this subcommittee, per Chairman Argenzio as well as Chris Tramella's recommendations at the last meeting, we added, oh, I'm on the wrong one. This is the superintendent.
Superintendent.
Next one. Sorry. So per everyone's recommendations at the last meeting, we've added in language matching our other coterminus position in the city. So we request that this body approve language stating that the Department of Public Works shall be under the general supervision of a superintendent who shall be appointed by the mayor, subject to city council confirmation. The superintendent of Public Works shall serve for a term of 4 years, coterminous with the 4-year term of the mayor, and until the superintendent's successor is duly appointed and qualified. I know that Council President Cogliandro raised very valid concerns over whether that position would be booted if the mayor were to resign or something happened. And I hope in my explanation to you, Chairman, that we believe that we are prepared to defend that that appointment would go through, because when a mayor is appointed or when a mayor is elected, for example, 2024 to 2028, they appoint all throughout their term, and if it's a coterminous term, that lives out the mayor's term, regardless of whether that specific mayor is there or not. So we were pretty confident. It hasn't been tested yet. Everyone's been safe so far, but we are pretty confident that that coterminous appointment would be attached to the term, not necessarily the mayor that is sitting in that chair.
Thank you very much. Any members wishing to speak? Members of the public? Roll call.
For a favorable recommendation to adopt the amended language as reported by Claire. Councilor Guarino Sawaya?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Jaramillo is absent. Councilor Kelly?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Silvestri?
Yes.
Yes. And Chairman Argenzio?
Yes.
Yes. The amended ordinance will be reported out favorably.
Excellent. Thank you.
Next up is Council Order Number 24-091, an ordinance further amending the revised ordinances of the City of Revere relative to food truck regulations.
There were some amendments proposed by Councilor Novoselsky and Councilor McKenna. If you could read those into the record.
The first amendment offered by Councilor McKenna is to strike section in 5.10.050, subsection 3, areas and hours of operation limitations. Bennington Street, east side only at or near Jimmy Kimmerly Park, north of Crescent Ave and south of Winthrop Ave, not to exceed 2 food trucks at this location at any one time. The request is to strike that language from that ordinance.
Do we formally have to adopt that?
You do all in favor, all opposed?
Okay. All in favor, all opposed? Aye.
Councilor Novoselsky has also submitted several amendments to the proposed ordinance as follows. Section 5.10.050.4, North Shore Road, east side only between Centennial Ave and Tohoen Street, not to exceed 2 food trucks at this location at any one time. Councilor Novoselsky's amendment is as follows: reduce the number of food trucks allowed from 2 to 1, and strike at any one time and insert in place thereof for special events only. And then I can go through all of his amendments as presented. The second amendment is as follows: Section 5.10.0505, Shirley Avenue South Side only at the City of Revere Municipal Parking Lot east of Nahant Ave and west of Walden, not to exceed 2 food trucks at this location at any one time. Reduce the number of food trucks at this location from 2 to 1. Amendment number 3, Section 5.10.050, areas and hours of operation limitations is hereby amended by inserting a new location as follows. Shirley Avenue, south side only between Walden Street and North Shore Road, in front of 161 Shirley Ave, not to exceed 1 food truck at this location at any one time. And lastly, Section 5.10.060, parking requirements, is hereby amended by inserting a new subsection as follows. New subsection D, food trucks shall be detached from any vehicle when stopped or parked for the purpose of conducting business. Vehicles which tow the food truck shall relocate to any other available legal parking space so as not to unnecessarily take up parking spaces located in front of brick and mortar businesses. Vehicles shall be subject to all parking regulations, including but not limited to metered and timed parking spaces.
Thank you. Wish to speak, Counselor?
I do, Mr. Chairman. Ira Novoselsky, 53 Dehone Street. I've asked for these issues on Shirley Ave to be adjusted. I've had complaints from some of the business owners regarding some of the way the food trucks are being parked and keeping their vehicles, the trailers tied, connected to the cars. So we're trying to correct that. The one thing I would like to add is I'd like to adjust the time of the Shirley Ave locations from 11 to 9 p.m. with the caveat as determined by the License Commission. So this way, if somebody has a problem, they can bounce them back to 8 o'clock. Right now, they think that 8 o'clock is the time that they stop, even because that's the way it's worded. And I know we had discussions with the clerk that there is some variance that they can do, but their thoughts are it's 8 o'clock. So we'd like to make it 9 o'clock just to give them that flexibility.
Okay.
So if we're going to add that onto it.
Shirley, so the amendment would be, there would be a new a new section under hours indicating that the Shirley Avenue locations may go to 9 p.m. at the discretion of the License Commission.
Correct.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Counselor Novoselsky's amendment. Oh. Counselor Silvestri.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just a quick question, Mr. Chairman, maybe through you to Madam Clerk. Do we know if any of these amendments, if sworn in, is going to impact someone immediately? Like they're going to have to stop business immediately?
I can't speak to that. I believe that would be a question for the city solicitor to answer.
Okay. And if we pass this, vote on it tonight, will it go into effect immediately?
Upon the mayor signing it.
Okay, thank you.
Counselor McKenna.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. There's 2 locations now that food trucks can go. I think the DCR gave 7 spots, 2 on Ocean Ave, 5 on the Revere Beach. I don't think you need to have a permit. Oh, you don't. You do need to have a permit, but they're giving it to Revere residents. The other thing is the HYM is doing a food truck park. You don't need a permit for that. Anybody can come. I already talked to him about that. He said any truck could come, and they don't have to run their generator. They will supply electricity. So
And is that happening fairly soon?
it should be happening soon.
Okay.
They called me last week and said it was going to be opening for the summer, so I could find out, definitely. But, I mean, it wouldn't, if this happens immediately, like, I'm asking for the food truck to be off of Bennington Street, because what happens is he's parked there 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. That's the busiest hours. People can't get into, they can't get out of Beachmont because they have to go around in the traffic's backed up all the way to Beachmont School, so people have been complaining, so. But I wouldn't want to put anybody out of business, so I'm really trying to get an alternative. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilor Garina Swire.
I have a question for Councilor Novoselsky. The location on Shirley Avenue, are there residents around there? Are they residential apartments that are around that location that you want to keep open until 9 p.m.?
There is across the street, but over the last year that it's been in effect, we've had one complaint. Person was complaining about the generator in the small food truck. It's a trailer. Got a new generator, and it's a lot quiet. We haven't heard any complaints in about 4 months.
I'm just concerned if there's children living in those apartments that they would have to, it would, impede in their bedtime.
No, there are not.
Okay, thank you.
The amendments proposed by Councilor Novoselsky. All in favor, all opposed? Aye. On the ordinance as amended?
For a favorable
Roll call.
recommendation on the food truck regulation ordinance as amended, Councilor Guarino Sawaya?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Jaramillo is absent. Councilor Kelly?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Silvestri?
Yes.
Yes. And Chairman Argenzio?
Yes.
Yes, the ordinance as amended will be sent to the City Council this evening with a favorable recommendation. Council Order 24-123, an ordinance further amending the revised ordinances of the City of Revere relative to street and sidewalk opening permits during winter months.
Thank you. Members wishing to speak?
How you doing? Chris Charamella, Assistant Superintendent, 319 Treasure Street.
Thank you.
So since we last spoke, we did update that ruling to include the winter excavation fee to only be $500. What is it?
In the-
Okay.
In the case of an emergency?
In a case of an emergency.
Okay,
Yep.
excellent. Everyone comfortable with that? Roll call? All in favor, all opposed on the amendment? Aye. Okay, roll call on the ordinance as amended.
On a favorable recommendation on the street and sidewalk opening ordinance as amended, Councilor Guarino Sawaya?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Jaramillo is absent. Councilor Kelly?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Silvestri?
Yes.
Yes. And Chairman Argenzio?
Yes,
Yes, the ordinance will receive a favorable recommendation to the City Council this evening.
thank you.
I just want to put on the record for any contractors or homeowners at home, if this is approved by the council, it does not go into effect until November 14th of this year.
Okay, thank you.
And lastly, Council Order 24-137, an ordinance relative to Appendix Table 3 salaries of the revised ordinances of the City of Revere, also known as the Parity Salary Ordinance.
Thank you.
All right, Clarence Zerillo, 281 Broadway Solicitor's Office. Based off of the updated cover letter you all should have, I'm going to quickly go over the changes with one new comment I have for you all at the end. I know the city clerk provided you, I think it's highlighted, the last minute changes that we got from the auditing department, which amended a few titles / salary amounts that are in those tables. We removed the 3% that was incorrectly in those second and fourth columns in subsection F. We did the same thing, just another logistical removal of a column. We added the traffic commission clerk, which Councilor Giannino had requested, and we added in new subsection H, increases in perpetuity at the very end. This should hopefully address the concerns that were expressed over having to do this over and over again. And then the one update I have with Rich Viscay here is that with this council's approval, this is a very last minute amendment, we would request of you all to flip to section E, salary schedule. This is the big one, the big table, non-elected employees not represented by a collective bargaining agreement. For the sake of uniformity and consistency, we thought it best as they were going through the budget to add in the fire chief to that table. So we would like to propose an amendment to this subcommittee to add in a row underneath police chief in that table and to provide for fire chief And when the city clerk is ready, I have those numbers to read out loud. Okay, under the first column, 3% dash 7123, we would like to add for fire chief 151516. Under the second column, 0.75% dash 7124, we would like to add 152652. Third column will be not applicable due to COLA, which Rich can explain. And then we have the subsequent updates for the 16-year step table when the city clerk is ready. So underneath police chief, we request that we add in a row for fire chief for the 16-year step table. Column labeled 3% dash 7123 would be 159092. The 0.75% July 1st, 2024 column would read 160285. And we request that this subcommittee consider that amendment along with the other ones. And we thank you for your patience as we've gone a little bit back and forth with you all. Rich is here to answer any questions about those amendments as well.
Okay, thank you. Any members with any questions for Mr. Biscay? Any comments you'd like to make?
Just to clarify, Rich Viscay, CFO, 281 Broadway. There was a little confusion because the chief is a civil service chief. That's why we initially left him off the list, but it also looked like he was the only one of every employee to be left off the list. So we did a little research on civil service chiefs, and we feel it appropriate to put his base salary in here so that we have consistency. The only reason why we're not putting the 3% in there because he follows the fire department's COLAs and raises, and we have not settled that contract yet. So once they settle that contract, we can amend it. But that's why we're only going to the second column. So just wanted to clarify why we did that.
Okay, thank you. Councilor Kelly?
Thank you. Director of DEI, is it not on here?
That's a Unit A management position in the contract.
Okay, thank you.
Any other comments? On the amendment? Oh, sure, go ahead. Councilor Silvestri?
Thank you. Is the veteran service officer on this list?
He's also a Unit A member too, so
Okay.
these are the exempts.
Okay.
Thank you. Any further comments? On the amendment? All in favor? All opposed? Aye. Favorable, a roll call with a favorable recommendation.
Shall the Legislative Affairs Subcommittee offer a favorable recommendation for adoption of the parity salary ordinance as amended? Councilor Guarino Sawaya?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Jaramillo is absent. Councilor Kelly?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Silvestri?
Yes.
Yes. And Chairman Argenzio?
Yes,
Yes, this will be forwarded to the full City Council with a favorable recommendation. There's no further business.
thank you. Legislative Subcommittee has adjourned. Thank you.
Good evening. Welcome to the May 6th Committee of the Whole Subcommittee. Please rise to salute the flag.
Roll call of the members of the Committee of the Whole. Counselor Agenzio?
Here.
Here, Counselor Janino?
Here.
Here, Counselor Guarino Sawaya?
Here.
Here, Counselor Haas?
Here.
Here, Counselor Jaramillo is absent. Counselor Kelly?
Here.
Here, Counselor McKenna?
Here.
Here, Counselor Novoselsky?
Here.
Here, Counselor Silvestri?
Here.
Here, Counselor Zambudo?
Here.
Here, and Council President Cogliandro?
Here.
Here, quorum is present.
At this time, we are going to take a roll call to enter executive session pursuant to Mass General Laws, Chapter 30A, Section 21A3. The City Council will meet in executive session for the purpose of discussing the ongoing eminent domain litigation relative to the Wonderland site. The City Council will not reconvene in open session at the conclusion of the executive session. The regular meeting of the Revere City Council following executive session will begin at 6 p.m. this evening. Madam Clerk, please take a roll call.
Shall the City Council enter into executive session? Counselor Agenzio?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Janino?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Guarino Sawaya?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Haas?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Jaramillo is absent. Counselor Kelly?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor McKenna?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Novoselsky?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Silvestri?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Zambudo?
Yes.
Yes. And Council President Cogliandro?
Yes.
Yes.